Hi, my name is Tamika Chambers, and I am a trained nurse. I have my BSN as a nurse and my MSN as a nurse educator. I am an integrated nutrition health coach and an ACE certified personal trainer, fitness trainer. And so I have over 22 years in the healthcare industry, and I've seen a lot just in relation to thoughts, in relation to physical symptoms related to emotional ailments, emotional unhealed wounds. And so nursing has taught me a lot about the mind and how it plays out inside of us to the external, to our external environment. So our internal, and then there's the external environment. One of what I try to do is during April, Child Abuse Prevention Month, is just talk about different things that often plague people who have been abused as a child. And many of the things I did not know until I moved out on my own in my apartment in St. Louis, Missouri. And I started researching childhood sexual abuse and learning about the devastating consequences that can come as a result of being abused as a child. And abuse is more of that general term. What we look at is the emotional part of that, which is the betrayal, which is the lack of trust, which is the confusion of who I am because of what just happened to me, which is what is my life now? What is my purpose here on earth? And so anger, resentment, vengeance, shame, all of those emotions that we hold inside of us, we internalize what was done to us physically, what was said to us. And so when we internalize that, we take in that message into this programming system that we have, which is our nervous system. And that information gets stored inside of our body and gets played over and over again, whether consciously or unconsciously, we have that message that is playing throughout our body. And so nightmares to me is basically all this material that has come as a result of what we perceive about an experience, all this material, all of this data, all this information that gets hardwired into our body, that gets put into our fertile soil and continues to grow and to multiply within us. All this stuff that does not belong in us has to come out. And the way that information typically comes out of us is through, I believe, our physical symptoms. The heart and having high blood pressure, heart disease. The Bible tells us that out of the heart comes the issues of life. And we wonder why many people are having heart attacks. I believe it was Les Brown that had made a statement that, many people have heart attacks on Mondays. Why? Because they're going to a job that they don't want, or they're living the life, to me, that they don't want to live. It's more about living the life that is unlike their truth. Because I believe that when we are in line with our truth, there is internal peace, there is harmony, there is good health. See, we look for external things to give us the health that we know we should have deep within us. We look for diets, we look for all this other stuff instead of really looking at why things happen to us on the internal first and get displayed in the external. So nightmares are a way of our brain trying to continually make sense out of nonsense. Somebody misusing our body, someone saying negative, harmful, hurtful, that we perceive as harmful things to us, right? And so we are steadily making sense of that. And it's in that we realize, my mom would tell me, you have control of your dreams. I never, to my knowledge, had nightmares about being molested as a child, about my body being abused, because I didn't think that I should have those nightmares, for one. And I believe that there was a higher calling on my life than my abuse experience. And so it was on until years later where I started to kind of take that victim approach through another crossroads in my life. And I realized, starting making sense of this, when I didn't have nightmares and this happened, and I having nightmares, and what was the key thing that was involved? It wasn't the people that were involved. It was my thoughts that were involved. What did I perceive about the situation? What did I internalize? And when we start to take that victim approach, that it is me, what is wrong with me? Why did they do that to me? What I have said on social media, what I've put out there, is often people who hurt people. Not everyone, but some people don't know how to project how to deal with their pain in a healthy way. Instead, they project their pain on others, hence the generational cycle of pain. Now, for me, nobody owes me anything. My mother would tell us that no one owes you anything. It is up to you that even after something has happened, to find it within yourself, to transform your mind, because the Bible talks about that, transforming our mind so that we can live the life that has been created for us. We are not created for disheartened hearts. We are not created to be a receptacle for pain. We have divine purposes, gifts, and talents within us. And it is up to us to develop the foundation that will help us transcend experiences. What are you telling yourself every day? What are you telling yourself when something happens to you? Are you saying that you are unworthy? Are you saying it's because of you? Are you trying to make sense out of nonsense? Some people project their pain. It is not about you. It is about them. And that's what I realized, that the abuse I endured was not about me, although I needed to take responsibility for how I perceived that abuse, how I looked at it. What am I going to do now that it has happened? April is National Child Abuse Prevention Month. That still thousands of people, I believe I read in Illinois, in 1 year, they had over 80-some thousand of calls related to abuse in one state. And so yes, we should definitely tackle and speak about abuse. But what do we do in the meantime with people that are experiencing it, that are experiencing nightmares? Why are you experiencing? What continues to come up? What are you trying to make sense out of nonsense? That someone projected their pain on you. And it's unfortunate. And my heart goes out to everyone who's experienced the projection of pain, the confusion that you must live with, or the confusion that you have to put in its place. You don't have to live with that. That you have to put in its place and say, you projected your pain on me. It is not my fault. I didn't do that. But I will learn from this experience so that I do not project my pain on others, and that I develop the mindset that is not a victim approach mindset. It is a more approach that I am greater than my experience. And that's how I got through major crossroads in my life. Even when I did take up the victim approach, I realized that the victim approach is not how I need to go. It is not the direction I need to go in. That I can take the approach that strengthens me from the inside out and see the pain and distraction for what it is. But do not let it be a deterrent to my truth. That again, we are here for divine purposes. You have gifts and talents. That our gifts and talents, part of our purpose is displaying those gifts and talents in a loving way. That we turn people to the source of love instead of away from them, away from love. And so nightmares, I don't believe we have to have them. I believe we can transform our mind by dealing with that inner data, pulling it out, putting the responsibility on who it needs to be on, and take responsibility for our mind and how we will live our life. You can see me more on what I have to say about pain on TamikaSChambers.com. And while you're there, think about becoming part of the community that is bent on fulfilling our purpose and living, achieving, and sustaining a health from the inside out in the best health possible, because you deserve it. You're not a mistake. You're here for reasons, and you deserve every right to be who God created you to be.